Was I wearing the same t-shirt yesterday? I'm sorry about that. So today's message is enough out of me. I'm going to read a little story, and I've calculated using science that the whole story would take me too long to read, so I'm going to divide it up into two chapters or two segments. And I think I can read it if I'll just start doing it probably in the normal amount of time of about 6 to 7 minutes. Anyway, I'm just going to dive right in. It's Emmett Fox, and it's a story that I try to read once every year. And every time I read it, it blows my mind. I can never remember it, but every time I read it, it always does something for my soul. And I think it's also a wonderful reading for Holy Week. So, uh, hope you enjoy it, and I hope I don't get in trouble for reading this online. And um, I guess I'll find out. I've gotten in trouble many times before. You ready? Settle in. Close your eyes if you want. This chapter is called Your Heart's Desire. An old adage says, God has a plan for every man, and he has one for you. And this is absolutely correct. Your real problem, therefore, in fact, the only problem you will ever have, is to find your true place in life. Find that, and everything else will follow almost automatically. You will be perfectly happy, and upon happiness, health will follow. You will be really prosperous. You will have all the supply that you require to meet your needs. And this means that you will have perfect freedom, for poverty and freedom cannot go together. Until you find your true place in life, however, you will never be really happy, no matter how much money or distinction you may acquire, and until you are happy, you will be neither healthy nor free. Whoever you are, God has not made you without a definite purpose in view. There's a thought. The universe is a universe, that is, a unified harmony, a divine scheme. There can therefore be no such thing as a misfit or an unwanted or unneeded piece. It could not happen that God could create a spiritual entity such as you are without having a special purpose in view, and this means that there is a special and particular place in it for you. God never repeats himself, and so he has never made two people alike, and it is for this reason that no two people could ever do quite the same work or express themselves in quite the same way. That is why, rightly understood, there really need be no competition. There need be no such thing as, say, 2,000 people struggling for the same place in life. What that place may be, there can only be one person who can fill it perfectly, and there are 1,999 other places somewhere waiting for the other people if they will only find them. But how is one to find his true place in life? Good question. Is there any means whereby you may discover what it really is that God wishes you to do? You may feel inclined to say, even if it be true that God has some splendid thing that he wishes me to do and to be, how can I possibly find out what that is? Perhaps you may even be tempted to say, I am a very plain, everyday sort of person. My circumstances are extremely restricted. The conditions of my life are just drab and commonplace. How then can there be something wonderful, beautiful, splendid awaiting me? Or even if there were, how could I possibly get to know about it? And the answer is divinely simple. Already in your past life, from time to time, God himself has whispered into your heart just that very wonderful thing, whatever it is, that he wishes you to be, to do, and to have. And that wonderful thing is nothing less than what is called your heart's desire. Nothing less than that. The most secret, sacred wish that lies down deep at the bottom of your heart, the wonderful thing that you hardly dare to look at or to think about, the thing that you would rather die than have anyone else know of because it seems to be so far beyond anything that you are or have at the present time, that you fear that you would be cruelly ridiculed if the mere thought of it were known. That is just the very thing that God is wishing you to do or to be for him. And the birth of that marvelous wish in your soul, the dawning of that secret dream, was the voice of God himself telling you to arise and come up higher, because he had need of you. God is infinite mind, and that mind is ever seeking for more and for new expression. For such the Father seeketh to worship him, Now, because you are a human being, you are intended to be a new point of expression for God, a focal point in infinite mind. In fact, somewhat as an electric lamp may be regarded as a focal point for the manifestation of the electric current in the circuit, a focal point for divine self-expression. That is what you are intended to be. And if you are willing to become that, then you will be fulfilling your destiny, and you will experience absolutely perfect and unalloyed happiness and harmony, and eternal and unrestricted development. Yeah, a few people have attained to this, but they are still comparatively few, rats. The great majority have lives full of problems of one kind or another that they have yet to work out. If one has perfect bodily health, and how few have even this, really perfect health, then he probably has financial difficulties, or it may be family troubles or an unhappy home life. If health, finance, and home relations are satisfactory, there can still be a sense of frustration in other directions. In any case, in the absence of all-around fullness and harmony of expression, there is frustration, and frustration means trouble. Modern psychology has been slowly realizing that many human ills are traceable to mental suppression, but our study of fundamental truth teaches us that all trouble of every kind is really failure on the part of the individual to be a completely free focal point of expression for God. You might say that you are unhappy, dissatisfied, perhaps ill or impoverished, a failure, and this is simply another way of putting the fact that you are not allowing the will of God to have free play in your life. You are not doing the thing that He meant you to do. You are drifting, or else you are trying to do something that He never intended you to do, and doing it badly and distorting your soul in the process. It is useless to blame Providence for your troubles, or to endeavor to saddle the responsibility upon other people. The universe operates strictly in accordance with law, for God, among other things, is principle or law, and where law obtains, there can be no room for the idea of blame. If you break a law, you suffer the consequences, and that is all there is about it. It is not a matter of blame or punishment. It is just an impersonal question of cause and effect. This may seem hard at first sight, but actually it is your certain guarantee of ultimate victory and freedom. Impersonal law is certain to hurt you when you work against it, but for the same reason, it is equally certain to help you and to heal you when you work with it. A human soul may be thought of as an opening through which infinite energy is seeking a creative outlet. If that outlet be a clear, open channel, all is well. If, on the other hand, it should become obstructed by any means, then the infinite energy, the life force, is frustrated, dammed back, and all sorts of local stresses are set up in that soul. And these we see as sickness, poverty, fear, anger, sin, and every kind of difficulty. And the last paragraph for today. Now we are in a position to understand what the real art of living must be. It must be to make this channel clear and to keep it clear. And if only we will do this, we shall find that health, prosperity, full self-expression, true happiness, in short, will follow automatically. Okay, my friends, that's part one. Part two goes deep into how we keep that channel clear. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy Holy Week, and thanks for listening. I'll see you all tomorrow.